False, bogus, 100% fiction. Despite this, President Trump and his White House continuing to push claims of widespread voter fraud in an election, by the way, that Trump won. The new target here, New Hampshire, for some reason. Trump narrowly lost the state, and his senior policy advisor, Stephen Miller, says buses are to blame.
President Trump again this week suggested in a meeting with senators that thousands of illegal voters were bused from Massachusetts to New Hampshire. Do you have that evidence?
I've actually, having worked before on a campaign in New Hampshire, I can tell you that this issue of busing voters into New Hampshire is widely known by anyone who's worked in New Hampshire politics. It's very real. It's very serious. This morning on this show is not the venue for me to lay out all the evidence, but I can tell you this. Voter fraud is a serious problem in this country.
Just for the record, you have provided absolutely no evidence.
Trump, based on this tweet of congratulations, was apparently happy with Stephen Miller's performance. So joining me now, someone who knows New Hampshire politics very, very well, a Republican who ran the state's party over the last decade, Fergus Cullen. Fergus, nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you, Brooke.
All right, so you, sir, on Twitter, are offering $1,000 to anyone who can prove what Stephen Miller was claiming. Do you have any takers?
So far, shockingly, no one has been able to come up with any evidence, no pictures of one of these magic buses delivering hundreds, if not thousands, of people from Massachusetts to New Hampshire. No one has any evidence at all.
Okay, so then what's your response to Stephen Miller?
Well, look, he says that anyone who's worked in New Hampshire politics knows that this is a problem. In fact, the opposite is the truth. Anyone who has worked in New Hampshire campaigns knows that this is a shibboleth. It doesn't happen. The idea that people are coming to New Hampshire to commit fraud on a massive scale like this is just preposterous, and it needs to be called out as untrue.
Well, we have you on, and it sounds like you're doing precisely that. You know, we looked at Stephen Miller's background. He's 31. By the way, he says he knows New Hampshire politics well. We looked in, he says, briefly worked on Scott Brown's 2014 Senate campaign in New Hampshire. That was like 2 or 3 weeks. From California, went to Duke, worked for Michelle Bachmann in Minnesota, Jeff Sessions of Alabama. Does that qualify him to speak on New Hampshire elections?
Well, I mean, perhaps he's been misinformed, perhaps he's delusional. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt here and suggest that he's been misinformed. Same thing with the president, who has made these claims repeatedly now. Perhaps he also has been misinformed. Although he does have people on his team who do have experience in New Hampshire who should be able to set him straight on this. I would like to see the president move on to more substantive issues and focus on doing his job and not focused on sort of sideshows like this.
Perhaps he's misinformed. Perhaps he's delusional. Fergus, I have one more for you. You know, you're a member of the grand old party. You want to see Republicans succeed. Why on earth do you think Trump and his top advisors are still pushing this bogus theory?
I don't know. I'm not going to become an armchair psychologist on this matter, but I am saying, look, you won the election. No one is arguing that. Supporters and opponents are both conceding that. Focus on doing your job and try and do some good for the country. And these kinds of sideshows, refighting wars from 3 months ago on an election which you won, are a distraction from that. That's what is disappointing. Look, I'm trying to have an open mind. I'm trying to give the guy a chance, but he makes it hard sometimes for Republicans to do that.